So I suppose I'm going to be a little mean and I'm going to say, no, we're not going to do prepositions. We're going to do
Okay.
phrasal verbs. Okay. So what you've got
Uh-huh.
is a phrasal verb is a verb and a particle. Okay. And that particle, you're probably thinking preposition, but you could also think adverbs. Okay. Um, and they make these common phrasal verb particles. Okay. Now, when you think of phrasal verbs, if I give you the verb look, okay, what kind of changes could you make to make look a bit more interesting?
To look at.
To look at something? Okay, let's go and look at the vineyard. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So why might we want to look at the vineyard? What's our incentive for being here to look at the vineyard?
Just to observe and because I'm curious, I want to see what the vineyard is.
Possibly, yeah.
And
If you want to just learn what is it, what happens in a vineyard, you might say, oh, let's go and look at the local vineyard. Yeah, yeah. If you were the vineyard owner, why might you want to look at your vineyard?
to see if everything is going well, if uh, the plants
The
uh,
vines.
the vines are growing,
Yeah.
and if there are no insects who eat
Oh, yeah.
the who eat all the what is the grapes,
The
yeah, the
grapes,
grapes.
yeah, yeah, and the leaves, So you want to check up on everything, okay? If you're just a
That is
tourist,
also one thing, Lynn. Check up, and why you need the on there
because
to
you're
check up.
checking up. If you check up everything, it doesn't have any real meaning. You need to check up on everything. Because you can have a checkup. And if I said to you, hubby's going for a checkup this afternoon, that would mean he's being checked up on, if you like. To have a checkup is to go to the doctor, to have your pulse taken, make sure you're still alive, listen to your heart, your breathing. So the on says not that kind of checkup. We're checking up on the vines. We're checking up that everything. We're checking that everything is okay. So to check up on, to check up that everything, to check up that, yeah, or to check that, I should say. To check that everything is okay, you have to check up on everything, okay? And it's that on just distinguishes it from a checkup. So sometimes these can have more, they require extra information because they have different meanings, they have different um, parts to them to say whether it's a checkup or to check up on. Okay?
Yeah, and I've got the impression that we use a lot that preposition on.
We do, yes. Most of the prepositions are guilty of that, actually. So now, one of the things you can do is, if you're uncertain of these phrasal verbs, if you're uncertain of these collocations, then you can look them up. So look it up. There's another little phrasal verb, to look up. And again, it has more than one meaning. Okay, so in this context, we'd be looking it up in the dictionary. Okay.
Yes.
So what you could do with check up, okay, you could go into your dictionary, preferably a better one than the one you use normally. So I'd go online if I were you. And if you were to define check up, then you would find this, and it would be described as a noun. Okay, a thorough examination, especially a medical or dental one. Now, that's not the kind of checkup that we're looking for. Okay, so if we have to check up, then that's the phrasal verb, and you have to have more information to show this is a phrasal verb. Okay,
Yeah.
so you check up on maybe you check up on a relative, yeah? To check up on a friend. Okay.
That is just wondering and asking myself what happened with them.
Yeah, you just maybe phone them or drop them a letter, drop them an email. Yeah. Oh, just checking up to see that you're okay. And I'm
Yeah.
checking up on you. Are you checking up on me? That kind of thing. But yes, the check up on, they have to go together, and it distinguishes it from check up. Now, sometimes you'll find check up written as one word, and sometimes as a hyphenated word. It's one of those in transition. But that's as a noun. As a phrasal verb, it's 3 different words to check up on. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So you don't really want to go too far on worrying about why. Really, you really don't. Okay. If you worry too much about why, if you don't just accept it, because when I learnt these as a child, I didn't even know they were phrasal verbs or nouns or verbs or anything. It didn't bother me. I just knew what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. In order to get my meaning across, I just learned how to say a checkup and to check up on. Okay. Sometimes I think you can sort of like just go a little bit too far worrying about the whys and wherefores, the grammatic explanation for these things, because sometimes they're so obscure that it can hold you back. Okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look in the baskets. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What can you see in the baskets? So,
What
what can
on
you
earth
see
is
in the
that?
basket? Ah!
To look in. I'm looking in the basket and I see some red uh, fruits, I think, and it doesn't look like it. They don't look like grapes, actually.
They are grapes. Trust me.
Oh, they are grapes.
They could pretty much be anything, but we'll say that they're bunches of grapes. Yeah. So you got some, and anything else?
Anything else? Let me see if I can see it clearly. Yeah, now I see. No, nothing else.
Are you sure? Are you looking
Yeah.
carefully? I might have to share
In F,
my stream with you
yeah.
if you
I
can.
only see the grapes.
Okay,
Ah,
so
here in the other in one of the.
I did
Oh
say look
no,
in the
yeah.
baskets.
Yeah, in one basket there is a scissor. There are scissors. There are plural. There are, there are scissors.
There is a pair of scissors. Much easier to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, which basket?
That is the first basket. That's the basket on the left corner of you. On
The left corner of me. Hang on, have I got corners?
the left side of you. If you look to the basket, it is on your left side. The left corner side of on the no. How can I say that?
The first basket on your left or to your left. So the first
on
basket
the first
on
basket
your left.
on your left. Yeah.
Okay. So if you wanted to, it depends on perspective now, and sometimes that's what you need to know, a little bit of perspective. For you, it's the furthest away on the first row. So what you can do is look at it in terms of rows and columns. Yeah, you've got 2 columns, 2 rows. Yeah, so in the first row on the left. So the first row of baskets on the left, especially if there were more baskets than 2. Okay. But yeah, you'd have to do it from the perspective of the person looking at the baskets. Okay, so to your left or on your left, the basket furthest away from you would probably be this one. Yep, squishing all the grapes. And the basket nearest to you would be this one. So we've got furthest away from and nearest to. Okay, furthest away from and nearest to. Okay.
Okay.
And they're more like collocations, but that's the kind of way we use these prepositions. Away from, near to. Okay, so let's walk away from the vineyard and into the barn. Okay. So if you notice, I said it's the furthest away from you, and then I said let's walk away from the vineyard. Yeah, walk away. If I said to you walk away, I would mean go away from me. Just walk away, but walk away from, and then you have a place. So step away from, walk away from. It changes slightly. Yeah. If I said now, April, step away, I would mean step away from me, but I wouldn't say the from at all. I don't need to. If I were to say to you, April, step away from that bottle of wine, then I'm giving you the place from where I wish you to step. Okay?
Okay.
So that use of from, again, another little additional bit of information, but it gives you more of a clue. What exactly am I targeting? What do I really want you to do? And it can be very useful when you're giving instructions to people. Okay, so let's have a look at the table. So we can do a few little simple prepositions now. I'd like you to describe to me what's on the table, where they are, what they're in, what they're on, what they're between. Okay?
Just in front of me, there I see a plate.
Not a
with
plate. It's
6
not a plate.
and
You eat off a plate. Yeah. There's another one, to eat off something. To eat off something. So that's a bit too big for a plate. Well, I don't know how big your plates are, but that would be too big for me to be a plate.
a dish then, or a
It's
scale.
not a dish, no, because if you notice, have a closer look at it. There you go, another one, to look at something. Okay, so look at it and you'll see there are 2 handles on each side so you can carry it. So what kind of thing might you carry that you can put things on?
A tray.
Yay, that's it. Yes. So in front of me.
In front of me, there is a tray with 6 glasses of champagne. Champagne glasses?
6 champagne glasses, yeah, because they're actually empty.
Champagne glasses.
If they were glasses, now this is again, yeah, glasses of champagne, just that mentioning the of tells me there's champagne in the glasses. But if you just say 6 champagne glasses, tells me that they're for champagne, but there's nothing in them. Glasses of champagne would be much more interesting to me than 6 champagne glasses, just by that addition of. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and what else can you see?
The nearest item, the closest item from the tray is the a bucket, the wine bucket.
Now, here you wouldn't really mention the, because you haven't mentioned any wine bucket up until now. You've mentioned the tray, so you could say close to the tray, and I wouldn't say the nearest item to the tray or from the tray. I'd just say close to the tray and then give it a position on the table. So close to the tray on the left-hand side, yeah, on the left. So close to the tray on the left, there is an ice bucket. Okay, why an ice bucket? Because you haven't mentioned any ice bucket up till now. Why the tray? Because you've already said in front of me on the table there's a tray with 6 champagne glasses on it. Okay, close to the tray on the left there's an ice bucket. Okay,
yeah, and there is a bottle of wine in the bucket.
Very good, yes, a bottle of wine, because you hadn't mentioned the bottle yet, in the bucket because you've mentioned the bucket now. Okay, good. What's next?
Right, let me see, right to the,
Okay,
right to
let me
the,
stop you there. To the right of.
to the right of, yeah, that is.
Now, if you said
To
right
the right
to, let me think. I want you to go right to school. That means directly to school. Yeah, so right to is different from to the right of. Okay?
Okay, so to the right of the bucket, there is a candle. A candle. A candle?
Yeah,
No, a candle
a
light.
candle.
A candelier? What is that?
No, no, not a
The
chandelier.
holder. Candle holder.
A candle holder,
Candle
or
holder?
just a candle would be
Yeah.
okay, because it's also got a candle in it. There's a candle holder with a candle in it. I'd just say is a candle. There's a candle. Yeah, don't get too bogged down with detail. And you could say there's a candle and it's lit. It's very romantic. So to the right of the ice bucket, there's a candle or a lit candle.
Yeah. Okay. And then on to the right of the candle, there are 2 glasses and what is that? A box
Yeah.
and a box.
What's in the box?
In the box, I see bottle opener. Bottle opener.
No, I mean, yes, it is for opening bottles, but that's not what we call that. A bottle opener to me is more of a flat surface, and it's used for opening beer bottles, with the beer cap. So you force the beer cap off. That's actually for opening wine, and we don't call it a wine bottle opener or anything like that. We call it something. It's got its own special name. Any idea?
I've got it. I found it. Corkscrew.
Yes. So
Corkscrew.
in the
Corkscrew.
box, there's a corkscrew. Good. Well done. Okay.
Okay. And then to the left of the box, there is a big bottle of wine. A big wine bottle.
A big bottle of wine. Again, glass of champagne would indicate there's champagne in the glass. Bottle of wine indicates there's wine in the bottle. A wine bottle could just be an empty bottle that used to have wine in it, or it's ready for being filled with wine. So that use of a bottle of wine, much more interesting than any old wine bottle. Okay?
Okay, and I think that is a bottle of wine because the corkscrew is still there.
Yes, it's
So
getting
the
ready to be
cork is still
opened.
there.
Okay, so how would you describe that positioning of cork, corkscrew, and bottle?
The corkscrew is in the middle of the cork.
Yeah, okay. There's a corkscrew in the cork, is what I'd say. But yes, it should be centre, otherwise you're likely to break the cork, of course. Very good, well done. Okay, what else?
And then further on is a thread, or further away is
Further,
far away.
yeah, I would say further away. The problem with further
Further
on,
away.
yeah, further on implies we're going to move, or it's time, yeah, further on in the day, for example. So I would say further away is more specific for place, okay?
Even if it is so closely.
Well, that's where I'd probably not use further away. I mean, it doesn't. A little further away would be okay as well. So a little further away. Okay. Or you could say next to the wine bottle. Further down the table. So you could say further down or next to the wine bottle further down the table. Okay.
Okay. So next to the wine bottle, further down the table, there are 6 big wine glasses.
Could you please?
And they are placed in 2 rows of 3. In
Oh,
2
very
rows
good.
of 3.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
And then the 6 small glasses, wine glasses, following the rows of the big glasses. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. And again, further down the table, we've got 6 large glasses for red wine and 6 smaller glasses for white wine, maybe. You wouldn't have to be too, again, don't be try to be too specific about how far down. You're not measuring things, you're just describing what's on the table and giving an idea that it's being set up for a wine tasting, probably. Okay. Okay, carry on.
Okay, and now I'm going to change my position so I can use another word.
Perspective. Now, how would
So,
you invite me to join you?
would you like to come near me? So,
Oh,
to
that's a bit.
stand by, or to stand
Okay. Would you like
next
to
to
come
me?
over here? Would
Would
you?
you like to come over here?
That's it. Good. So, oh. Stand next to me is good, by the way, but you were about to say stand by me, and that can be a bit tricky. To stand by has, again, more than one meaning. To stand by someone, it can mean to support them. Yeah, don't worry, I'll stand by you. Yeah. And if you stand by as just a phrasal verb, if you're on standby, you're waiting for something. So I would say if you come over here, just keep it nice and simple. So come over here, or join me over here, you could say as well. Okay.
Okay. So let's see. To the right of the wine glasses, there are two bottles of alcoholic drinks. I don't know what it's inside.
I think they're meant to be wine. One's a Cabernet Sauvignon and the other one's from the Castle Winery. So I think we can say safely that they are bottles of wine.
Okay. The yellow bottle is in front of the red one. Not red.
Red?
It's yeah, it's a pink one. A
Pink
pink
wine,
one.
yeah. So what do we call pink wine?
Rosé.
Yeah. And what do we call yellow wine?
I don't know.
White. So the bottle of white wine is in front of the bottle of rosé.
Ah, it's white one. Okay.
And if we wanted to change the perspective and describe where the rosé is,
The white wine. The white wine is in front of the rosé.
yeah, and the rosé is
The rosé is behind the white one.
yeah, that's
White wine.
it. Okay, and what else?
There is another white wine to the left of the first.
Now, if you say there's
White wine.
another white wine, I think of a glass of white wine. Okay. Would you like another white
okay.
wine? That would be me offering you a glass. Okay. So you have to be a little bit more specific there.
There is another bottle of wine to the right of the first one.
That's it. Good. So there's another bottle of wine to the right of the first one. And how could you describe it? Not in relation to the other bottle of white wine, but in relation to the table. How could you describe that bottle of white wine?
On the right side of the table.
Okay, that might
be
again on perspective. On the right side, it would be on our side where we're standing. Okay, there's another way of describing the extremes of the table, if you like. So you've got two extremes of the table and two sides of the table. Now, to me, the sides are kind of the longest part, and the shortest part of the table aren't the sides there. I mean, they are, but the shortest part, you could describe it as at the end of.
The shortest part, you mean the
yeah,
width?
If you look at the table, we've got it lengthways. That's the longest part. So on the right side, I would say on the right-hand side, we've got the corkscrew in the box. And on the left-hand side, we've got the wine cooler. Yeah. And then at each end of the table, on the at one end, we've got the tray with the glasses, and at the other end, we've got the bottle of white wine. Okay.
Okay.
It's along a bit, make it even clearer. They are the other end. Okay, so it's easier if you're trying to describe it, because at the moment you've got everything related to everything else as it's displayed on the table. Eventually, you can break away from that and just describe what's at one end and what's at the other end. Okay.
So the candle, this last candle, Lynn, it is not right, straight right from the bottle of wine. So what is the word for that, Lynn? So a little bit diagonal. Diagonal.
I would just say to the right of the white and rosé wine, there's another candle. I wouldn't bother with slightly diagonal to it. Again, you're not doing a mathematical diagram. You know, I know what you mean. It's not straight, but you wouldn't say straight right or straight left. You just say to the right of the bottle of rosé, you've got another candle. Okay. Again, don't worry too much about being completely detailed. You could say to the right of the rosé in the middle of the table, you've got a candle, because it's that kind of in the middle of the table. Okay. So, I mean,
you never use that word then, Lynn, to mention that it is not.
Well, to
really,
me, diagonal would have to be further away for it to be diagonal. It would have to be, let's see, about there. Okay. To bother mentioning that it's diagonal, it would have to be literally diagonal, and really, it's just a little bit to the left of the rosé. Okay, a little to the left of.
And and if I say at an angle with, that is what we always say in Dutch.
Yeah, but at an angle too. But if you say something's at an angle, I tend to think at an angle.
Oh.
Yeah. So you might say at an angle to the rosé wine, there's a candle. Yeah, or maybe to the right of the rosé at a slight angle. But again, you're risking somebody mistaking your at a slight angle to think that the actual candle is at a complete angle to the actual candle is at an angle. So again, don't get too hung up on giving too much information. That can be as confusing as not enough information. Oh, you see, it's wonky. You've made it wonky. Looks like it's about to fall over. Okay. So as I said, I just wanted to confirm, but you're absolutely fine with prepositions. Okay. Sometimes I think you're getting a bit bogged down with the details. Okay.
Yeah, because we translated from our language, and then we
you know I'm going to tell you not to.
Last time with Natasha also, we have a sentence, and it contains the word too much against, and we were a little bit confused. Too much against, that is a little bit contrary. Because if I say Marco was also confused because he think, how can you match it something against something? Matching is same as, but against is that's not the same. So it was so confusing. But match against seemingly it's just similar with the too much with, Elin, no?
I wouldn't actually say it that way, but remember Natasha is Australian, so she's got different ways of saying things.
But it was on BBC.
Oh, was
BBC
it? Well,
text.
can you give me the whole sentence?
Oh my goodness. I can't remember the whole sentence, Lynn. It is about I can't find it. I can remember the whole sentence. Anyway, it is something in the database. So if you have my ear, for example, you can match my ear, the profile of my ear against.
Okay, I've got you.
Something like
when
that.
You were talking, I was hearing this. Much against. And I'm like,
Oh
gosh, no. I mean, and I don't
no,
like to say
much,
something's wrong because no, match, not much, match. Yeah,
much.
yeah, match against something. Yeah, you basically find a match for that item. Yes, we need to match this against our database. Yeah, that would be fine. We need to
Uh-huh.
find a match for this in our database. So no wonder I was confused. I was like, oh, well, I don't want to say Natasha's wrong because she might say that in Australia, but yeah, match.
Much.
Yeah, that's it with an a, not an Okay, I'm going to give you some sentences. Okay, and I would like you to tell me what the phrasal verbs are in these sentences. Okay. So, oh,
Okay.
hang on a second. I've just done the wrong thing. I want to cut and paste. Okay. So, here's one sentence. Tell me what phrasal verbs are in this sentence. Okay.
Okay. I sent off the order last week, but the goods haven't turned up yet. To send off is a phrasal verb, but turned up is also a phrasal verb, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Well done. To send off, the order in this case, not the footballer, and to turn up. Very good. Well done.
So sent off the order that you ordered that actually. Yeah?
You send off the order. It could be electronically. You pressed send. Okay. Or you send off
Uh-huh.
the order. It's a form. You put it into the post. Okay.
Okay.
So again, you have to just take it in your stride that to send off is just the same as it depending on the context. It could be I pressed send. It could be I posted it in the post. You know, you can't get too hung up on the nitty gritty, if you like. Okay. So I sent it off. How did you send it off? It doesn't say. Again, it is something you do. You do tend to go when, where, how, who. And that's good. That is good. But it can be a little bit frustrating for your brain because you're trying to then organize absolutely everything. Okay. But to send off in this context could be I clicked on send, I posted it, I tied it to the leg of a pigeon and it flew away. It doesn't matter. All that we need to know there is the order went. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we
And if
haven't
I
got the
have
goods
to,
yet. That's what you meant.
yeah, and if I have to write that sentence myself, I will avoid the phrasal verb. So I will write, I ordered an article last week, but it hasn't arrived yet.
That would be fine. That would be fine. So I ordered the item last week, but it hasn't arrived yet. That is exactly the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, because I'm so afraid of phrasal verbs because there are so many different meanings of sometimes one phrasal verb and a lot of different phrasal verb with another preposition. So I'm so afraid of using that.
That's fine because you, as a writer or speaker, as the communicator, if you like, you can decide whether to use a phrasal verb or not. You don't have to use them unless you're sitting a test or exam. Honestly, you don't have to use them. However, you do need to understand them. It's like idioms. You do need to understand them because other people are going to use them. Yeah? Okay, let's sit down. Would you like to sit opposite me? Okay. you look you look like you've had a bad day. Talking about phrasal verbs, it's making you cry. Okay, it's one of those kind of tables. You don't get much of a choice of where to sit. But you knew what I meant by sit opposite me, yes? Oh, 222.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, you're back. Okay,
I
so
just clicked
so
too
let's
much,
let's stand
too many.
opposite each other. Okay, so come and stand opposite me. You're standing near me now. I want you to stand opposite me. That's it. So, especially when you've got a nice thing like a table in front of you, opposite would be the other side of the table. Yeah, we were sitting opposite each other. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't so easy with the sitting. I'm sorry about that. But yes, you're standing opposite me now. Good. And again, I don't have to say slightly to the left, slightly to the right. Yeah, there's only two of us here. That much information isn't necessary. Okay. Okay, the next one I want
Okay.
to give you. Here you go. Again, spot the phrasal verb. Verbs in it. Okay.
Okay. I came across an interesting book in the library. I took down the title. Here it is. Came across and took down. But
What would you say?
I'm not. Yeah, I took down the title. It's just writing.
Yes.
I wrote down. If
Yeah.
I say, if I change that with write, I have to use that preposition down also.
Well, not necessarily. I can give me the full sentence the way you would write it in your phrasal verb sort of phobia.
How it?
Yeah, how would you write that with your phrasal verb phobia? So how would you rewrite that without using any phrasal verbs?
Oh, okay. Yeah, came across is okay because I used that also. I found
Yep.
an interesting book in the library, and wrote I wrote the title
Now
for you.
that's where you would, yeah, that's where you would need some kind of preposition. I
Yeah,
wrote down the
yeah,
title or I wrote out the title. What you could say is I noted the title, maybe. I noted the title, but you really sometimes you can't avoid. This is why it's a nice one. This one you can't really avoid that use of the phrasal verb. Yeah, I wrote the title. Where what? No, I wrote out the title, or I wrote down the title. Okay, and I wrote the title out for you. Okay, I wrote down the title. Now it's exactly the same. Write down, took down is the same. Yeah, here it is. But sometimes
okay.
you've got to accept you're going to use a preposition just to give absolute clarity. Yeah, I took a note of the title. Yeah, I took a note of his name. We were talking about names and addresses today, and as you and Shiny were giving out your names and your telephone numbers and your addresses, I was writing them down. Okay. Now, as you said,
Okay.
you didn't really mind came across. Why? Why don't you mind come across? It's still a phrasal verb to come across. So what's different between to come
Yeah,
across?
because there was a time that I was looking for a word that uh, I know in Dutch, but not really in English. And I found this phrasal verbs for translation of that Dutch word, and so I am used to. I think okay, I will never forget that again.
And do you use it? You said to me, I use that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. That's the only difference between this phrasal verb and the phrasal verbs you're frightened of is you're using it. Okay?
Yeah, like I take down the title. I will never write that, Lynn. I will write down, but not take down.
That's
No.
because you haven't worked as a PA. I've worked as a PA, a personal assistant, and you'll often get the boss
Ah,
saying, "Could you take down this for me?" And it's, "Could you just take a note, make a note of this for me?" To make a note of, to take down, to write down. So it's It's the only difference between ones that you're frightened of or don't like is the amount of time you use them and your initial reaction to them. Don't try and make them logical. Take down. Yes, of course, you can take down somebody. You can hit them till they're unconscious. That's taking them down. You can
Yeah,
take
that
down your.
is it.
You can take down your underwear before you go to the toilet. It's recommended that you do that. Okay, but you can also take down something in writing. The police take down your details if we were talking about shoplifting this morning, yeah? And if the police caught you, they would take down your details. As you get used to that use of that phrasal verb, it won't seem as awkward or difficult or impossible anymore because you're not going to be translating it into to take down literally. So you've got literally and figuratively, and there's a lot of phrasal verbs that have a kind of figurative meaning, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's try another one. Is this okay? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
please.
good. It's a bit grammary for me, as you know. I don't often do this, but this is it's good stuff anyway. So here's your next one.
We asked some friends around to watch a film, but the video was playing up and it. Oh, that is weird. Asked somebody around. No,
Yeah,
that is not a phrasal verb. Eh?
oh, it is. To
It is,
ask
but
someone
you
around. Yeah, ask around. And again, you can ask around about somebody or
ask
you can
around.
ask someone
Uh-huh.
around. So it depends on. Sometimes we talk about transitive and intransitive. Okay, just means can I split it? Can I put the information in the middle of it? Or does it have to go one end or the other? Okay, so to ask
Ah,
someone around. Oh, I can't type at the moment. To ask someone around would me inviting you around to taste some wine. So I asked April round to taste some wine. Okay. To ask
mm-hmm.
around about someone, that might mean I was
Investigating.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was asking Monique and Shiny and Traum about you. So again,
And play up. Yeah.
yeah, well done. It was playing up to play up. Do you know what that means?
What to play up is not working well.
Yeah, it just wasn't, you had to click the button 4 times. Oh no, this is play. Doesn't mean it's quite broken, but you know something's wrong. Okay, it's playing up.
But what is that and it, Lynn? Why is that there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and it. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Now I understand. And it eventually broke down. So another phrase of verbs to break down.
That's it.
Eventually
Yes,
break
to
down.
break
Okay.
down. Now again, um, if something breaks down, or God forbid someone breaks down, it's slightly different to break something down. Okay. Do you know what the difference? If I say my
Yeah.
car broke down, yeah,
Mm-hmm. It's not working
yep,
anymore.
yep, my car broke
And
down.
if
Oh, my car broke down. And if I broke my car down,
I myself make it with a hammer, with a
yeah,
hammer,
basically,
I
or
broke.
just take it apart mechanically. Yes,
Oh, okay.
you can do it with a
Oh,
problem. Yeah,
uh-huh.
you break
Ah,
down a
yeah.
problem into small parts. Yeah, a car's a little bit of an extreme thing to use, I guess, as an
Yeah.
example. But I bet you people break down cars. There are car breaker yards, yeah, and they break them down into little parts and sell the parts. But yeah, there's again, depending on whether you have the information at the end or in the middle. Sometimes it doesn't matter; it has the same meaning. Other times it changes the meaning. Okay. Okay. The video was playing up. You wouldn't split that one. Okay, it's intransitive, so you wouldn't play something up. It's always to play up. It was playing up. They were playing. The children were playing up. It means they were misbehaving. Okay, so you wouldn't actually split that one ever. Other ones you have to decide, and sometimes it changes the meaning and sometimes it doesn't. Again, that's something you develop a feeling for. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
And if someone breaks down, it become depressive, maybe?
yes. If you have a breakdown, so a breakdown, that can mean
A mental
a
breakdown.
mental
Yeah.
breakdown, exactly. So again, that changes it from a phrasal verb to a noun. So it's not a phrasal verb anymore. He had a breakdown. Yeah. He broke down and cried. Wouldn't necessarily mean a breakdown though. He just was upset at that time. Okay. So a breakdown is very different to breakdown. Okay.
Okay.
So again, this is something that you have to get a feeling for, the difference in meaning between the noun. Sometimes there is a noun, I mean play up, there's no a play up, but with breakdown there's a breakdown and to breakdown. You have to just develop the feeling for how serious it is and the change in meaning if you split it or if you have the information one end or the other. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to break down phrasal verbs as well a little bit just to understand, break them down into their constituent parts just to understand the difference between them. Okay. Okay, the next one, nice little complicated one. I'll try and get the whole thing. Hang on. Okay. Bear with me. Oh, I need to check the... Okay. Cut and paste is sometimes a little dangerous. So, next sentence, if you'd like to read it out first.
I wish he'd stop messing us about. He's put the meeting off 3 times, and now he wants to call it off altogether. So it's mess up, to mess about,
Yep.
to mess about,
Good.
and to put off, and to call off. To put something off and to call something off.
Very good. Well done. So, to mess about, again, if we split it, he's messing us about. If you notice that, it says he's messing us about. So, what you've done there is you've split it. Da 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 da. Now, if I said you're messing about, that would be different. Stop messing about. Yeah? Can you spot the difference between those two?
I think to messing us about, we said to play with our toes, our teeth, our toes. So
Sorry, to play with your what?
with your toes. We
Play
say
with our
that
toe, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So if it is the same meaning, actually, that means that how can I explain that? So you say yes, and then again no, and so it is not really. I don't know really what I want.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
something
Messing us
like
about
that.
is
Yeah.
more annoying us, trying to be clever, just not serious. He's not being serious, he's messing us about. He doesn't really want to order anything. He's just using our time in a wasteful way. Okay? He's messing us about. Okay. However, if I said to you, stop messing about, or if you said it to me, maybe, Lynn, stop messing about. What might I be doing?
What is that? Not complaining.
No. Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh.
Is that?
Hey! Yeah! So what am I doing?
Oh, what are you doing? Playing? Not.
Yes, I'm messing
Ah,
about. I'm meant to be having a nice wine tasting in a sophisticated winery, and I'm just messing about. Lynn, stop messing about. Playing around, okay? Now, if I said they're messing about, okay, that could have a different meaning, okay? I have two friends, but they're messing about with each other. What would that mean?
ah, have quarrel?
No, the opposite.
Oh, ah,
Ah, ooh la la.
oh, in a good way or in a bad way? So
Well,
it
it
is
would
something that
depend.
doesn't
If they're
actually
single,
not.
it would be fine. If they were married, then it would be, 'cause to mess about can also mean to have some kind of extramarital relationship. Yeah, he's always messing about with other women. Doesn't mean playing.
Ah,
Okay. Dangerous, aren't they, these phrasal verbs?
yeah.
Okay, so just to sort of um, recap, I've got a German class later, so I'm going to have to be a little bit more punctual today. Sorry about that. So we've looked at to send off. Now, as I said, that could be to post, but it could
Yeah.
also mean to just click the button, to click send nowadays. I mean, it's changed its meaning. To turn up can mean to arrive. Yeah. So to turn
Uh-huh.
up. To come across. Yeah, that can mean to find. And to take down
Mm-hmm.
is to write. But if you're telling somebody that you wrote it, you'd have to hang on. Bye. See you. Right, hope he's off to the doctors. So to take down to write. If you just say I wrote it, it's kind of I wrote a book, I wrote a story. So I wrote it down is more to take a note of something. Okay, so you do sometimes have to say to write down. Okay,
Okay.
okay. To ask around in this context was to invite to your home. Yeah. To play up was
Mm-hmm.
to not work properly. Not work, that's broken. But to play up, but to break down, in this context, it was to stop working. Okay? Okay. To mess about, in the context of the sentence, was causing an inconvenience. Okay?
Yeah.
Put off was to postpone till later. Yeah? So he's putting the meeting. He's put the meeting off 3 times. So to put off, to postpone, and um, now he wants to call it off altogether. To call off is to cancel.
Cancel.
So
Yeah.
that last sentence, okay, how would you rewrite that without using the phrasal verbs?
Let me see, where is it?
It's at the end. I've just put
I
it at the
wish.
end again. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I wish I wish he knows what he wants. He wants now. He's cancel. He has. Oh no. Oh, okay. I have to use the other words of what you put on the chat. I think. Uh, I wish he would stop causing inconvenience. Inconvenience. He postponed. He has postponed the meeting 3 times, and now he wants to cancel it altogether.
Very good. Yeah. I wouldn't say I wish he'd stop causing inconvenience. I'd just say I wish he'd stop causing so much trouble. Yeah, to cause
Uh-huh.
trouble. He's postponed the meeting. I'm so used to phrasal verbs they don't strike me. So he's postponed the meeting 3 times, and now he wants to cancel it. So you can see you don't need to use, it's like idioms. You don't need to use idioms at all. Okay, you don't need to use phrasal verbs. For every phrasal verb, there will be a simpler way of saying it. And some people, when you're communicating internationally, really do recommend that you don't use phrasal verbs, that you don't use idioms, that you don't use collocations. You keep things simple. However, as you well know, when you're out there in the real world, speaking with real people, they will use them. And there's no shame in saying, oh, when you say put off, what do you mean? When you say you took down, what did you mean? You wrote it, or you made a note of it? So don't be frightened to check that you've understood what somebody has said, but don't be scared of not using them. It's absolutely fine to not use them. Probably better communication skill to not use them as well. However, you've already said to me that when you do use them, you don't find them frightening anymore. So if you want to get to grips with them, yeah, I love that one, then you have to start just using them as often as possible. Think, can I say this using a phrasal verb? What's the phrasal verb I would use? Give it a go. Yeah, don't be scared of them. What's the worst that can happen? Unless you're doing a test or
Oh,
writing
yes.
something serious, don't be scared of them. Okay.
Sometimes I'm so proud of myself if I use.
And so you should be. Absolutely.
I think, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. No. They're fun. They are fun, and they're part of a rich language. So you can't ignore them. That's the main thing. But you shouldn't be scared of them. And the best way not to be scared of them is to use them. And in your daily life, as you're going through your day, think about the prepositions, where things are in relation to other things. You did perfectly well with the table. But when it comes to phrasal verbs, just think about when you're talking on the forum or in a session, just try to throw in one or two. Have an idea next week for the role play. When you write your part of the script, see if you can chuck a couple of phrasal verbs in for good measure. Yeah.
Okay.
So the policeman
But
took down her, or the security
uh-huh.
guard took down her
Yeah.
details. Yeah, that's one for you. I'll give it for free.
And what does it mean here to set up? Or I don't know if it is here, Lynn. Nadal sets up federal final. I don't understand what does it mean.
Are they arranging it?
They have to they played against each other. Yes, after this sentence. Yeah? So the sentence comes before the match, actually.
Yeah, that means he's getting ready for it.
Getting
Or he's
ready.
organising it. Okay, I'm just trying to find. Oh yeah, Roger Federer defeated him in a 5-set epic to win the Australian Open final. I didn't even know he'd done it. Okay, so Nadal sets up Federer final. To me, he would be getting ready for it. Yeah, and he would, if it's during the match, he's sort of making a good show of it, if you like. So, but
Yeah, it is.
it can mean to
I think.
organise. It can also mean
Oh.
to really perform it as such. Okay. Where did you actually read
Mhm.
it? Read it.
In the website from Australian Open official,
Okay,
but
I've just
it is
found one.
written.
Okay, I've just found
Oh,
one.
okay.
This will help me. Okay. Rafael Nadal sets up Roger Federer Australian Open final with epic win over Grigor Dimitrov. And that means
Yeah, that is
by
the one. Yeah.
winning, okay, by beating Grigor Dimitrov, he's basically enabled himself to meet Roger Federer in the final. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Because that is the title of the article, and that maybe they just shorten it. That's why it is a little bit
Yeah,
like federal final. What does
yeah.
it mean, federal final?
Okay. If, as you know, when you're reading headlines, they're like a shorthand for English. Okay. The shorter the
Uh-huh.
better, and the punchier the better. Okay. So um, Nadal sets up Federer final. I didn't know because I don't follow tennis, but it means that he did it by beating Grigor Dimitrov. Okay,
Yeah.
Dimitrov.
Yeah.
Okay, so he organised
Yeah.
it in a way, if you like. Okay, to set something up means can mean to organise it. To set someone up, totally different meaning. It means you're
That's
trying to
with money.
beat them in. So, oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, you could give them money to set them up for life, but you could also they set me up um, to be arrested, for example. Yeah, I was set up. They set me up. So again, context is king. I wish I was set up for life. If anyone would like to set me up for life, please go ahead. But don't set me up for a fall. To set someone up for a fall would be to arrange for them to have a really tough time of it. Okay? It was a setup.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Gosh, I think we've
A
covered
setup
quite a
is
lot.
Cillian, isn't it a setup? Isn't it a kind of list? Not list.
No.
Kind of something that you do it to make somebody to a trick, something like a trick.
Yep, it can be a setup. A
Huh?
setup. The
Uh-huh.
noun, again, don't confuse the nouns with the phrasal verbs. If it's a setup, it's a trick. It's somebody's trying to get you into trouble. Yeah? Don't go there, it's a setup. Yeah? You'll be arrested or you'll be killed. It's a setup. Okay? So
But not in the as a verb. No, it never that meaning.
only as a noun. Only as a noun.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And if you said they set me up, then it could mean that was a good thing, or it could mean it was a very bad thing. So again, context is always king. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Um,
I shall have to go because I've got to go and read my
mhm.
German homework.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
And
you.
Lian,
Yes.
actually from last year, I still have 2 prizes to claim. Is it still valid or is it
It
expired?
is because it was towards the end of the year and you couldn't book them because I was on holiday. So by all means, use the link to book them. But remember to write down which games they are. I'm still trying to put
Okay.
together a database on Google Plus on Google Drive that I can show who won what when. I mean, some have fallen
I've
by the
got
by,
this.
but those two, no, you've still got them. Okay,
Uh-huh. I have the notification of the. I can put it in a note.
excellent. Okay. Okay, I better go because
Okay.
otherwise
Thank you very much,
I'll be
Lynn.
late for my German. You're welcome. Thank
Okay.
you. It was fun. Take
Okay.
care
Thank
then. I
you.
hope it helped.
Bye.
Bye.